Hi, we are here in another TED Talk, self TEDx, we can call it. And today I would like to talk about healing. I was asked the question, what is healing? How was the healing world about 20 years ago? Or even in my case, when I started, it was 27, 30 years ago. And how is it different to today? And how do I look at the whole world of healing? And is there any difference between energetic healing and so on? Let's start. What is healing? Healing nowadays went through such a transformation. When I heard the word healing first, I just connected to it on a very um, maybe direct way, grounded way. To heal is to recover or to change a status quo or a certain pattern of disorder or disease and to feel better. That was healing for me. That's how I perceived it in any ways. And a healing place to go through a healing process to feel better, go from a place of not feeling good into feeling good. And that was the beginning. Then the word healing in some countries turned into a certain way of working with energy that provide healing. And it was almost parallel to what we know as Reiki. When I give healing or healing session, it means that I use my hands, I provide a touch or even non-touch, and transmit an energy that's supposed to make a change in person's well-being. And the healing world just grew up and expanded. And from what back then was not so much known, the whole wellness and healing, and it was relatively related to Reiki and maybe some ancient esoteric practices like Chinese medicine that not many people knew about, and there were not many colleges or universities that were teaching that. And Ayurvedic practices from India, if anybody heard about Ayurveda, even in that word, and maybe some local European or native healing methods. And the shamanic healing word was almost um, forbidden or looked at as some kind of witchcraft. The world evolved very fast, and here we are now, and the healing world is so vast, and there's so many methods that were either discovered or re-emerged or even initiated and got created in the last 30 years of people dealing with different methods of healing. So I put away and aside for a moment with respect Western medicine, and I look at all the alternative ways of healing. And still, if I look deep into the ancients, which is somehow how I like to observe what are working methods of coming into a well-beingness, into a healing state, into a state of feeling good without any disturbance. I want to go as far as I can backwards to observe which methods are working, but worked since day one, where they started and initiated and founded, and still are valid and working today. And I can see Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, that started 5,000 years ago and still working. Ayurveda, that started some thousands of years ago and still working. Some native healing knowledge, but is not compound into anything specific, but we can call it grandma medicine. And there are certain books in different cultures that actually give amazing tricks and grandma tips for healing of different ailments, disorders, viruses, flus, and so on. And then we have let's say, the new age of healing methods that were either many years ago were practiced, but they didn't have a name, but they composed into a name from physiotherapy, naturopathy, nutrition, osteopathy, chiropractic protocols, and watsu and shiatsu and all sorts. Yeah, probably there's a few tens more or hundreds. And of course, this is on the level of maybe touch or semi-touch, transforming energy from being stuck into flowing. And so if you ask me, what do I think about healing? What is healing? Healing is transforming a state of being of a human being or animals even, from a state of being that is unpleasant, painful, dysfunctioning, malfunctioning, into a state of balance and harmony where the organism is functioning well without any pain or block or stagnation. And so when all our systems are working fine, well, we're supposed to have no pain and everything should work as it is or as it should. And if the more you know about bodily systems, especially in humans, you know how the digestive system works. When is the optimal time of the body to release feces, which is in the morning. Chinese medicine talks about it very clearly. When is the right time to take a rest, to go to sleep, how many hours, how much water are we supposed to drink per day. 2 liters more or less. Why? Because the kidneys and the bladder are releasing about 1.8 liter of urine a day in an optimal state. So it all depends, and the more we learn and understand about our human body, we understand what is to be healthy, and also the healthy. If we take out the th, we are in the healing phase. So even in health, there is the aspect of healing. And so healing is to go from a state of not being healthy and go through the transformation, the process of healing, into feeling good, feeling healthy, feeling balanced, feeling in harmony. That's how I personally want to live day by day, moment by moment, and week by week. And also I say that sometimes when I face some challenges, viruses, state of mental state that is not super clean and clear and vibrating in a high vibe, when I'm in a stressful environment and so on, I might get affected to a certain amount. Or if I tense myself or going through intense experiences, if it's intense hiking or kite surfing or something like even an extreme sport, the body can be affected by it, temporary. And the sooner I pay attention to that and have the tools to change and transform and bring self-healing, I can overcome that and return to the state of balance. The state of balance for me is the state of being healthy and in harmony. Homeostasis from Western medicine, homeostasis, that state of balance, human balance, or homeo, which is harmonious status. Okay, so that's very general and short explanation of what healing is. And now, of course, there are different, under the umbrella of healing, we have energetic healing, we have physical healing, we have nutritional healing through digestion, through certain and different diets. We have shamanic healing, esoteric healing, so many different brands of healing, which are all methods to bring the body into balance and harmony. So I see the world is just expanding, growing, like many other ways and avenues. We as humans evolve as well, and we want to have more tools to understand ourselves and to know how to heal ourselves and our friends without going into, let's say, surgeries, or without taking medications that we don't really know what are doing to the body. Basically trusting a third person, a doctor, a surgeon, that we want to respect and to believe and trust that what he or she says is true, is right, is working, and to kind of almost blindfully do that. Sometimes they experiment with us and they give us new pills that nobody knows that they are new pills, and we are being guinea pigs. And so personally, I don't want to do that, and I prefer to learn ways all the time how to heal myself in case I need. And that's the beauty of the New Age healing, that there are so many methods. And you can choose whether you want to learn about energy healing through Qigong, through Reiki, through different touch. You want to do intuitive healing that maybe no one will tell you what to do and you just feel what is right for you. You want to go through shamanic healing, which involves maybe some rituals or taking some plant medicine, master plant medicine, in order to change the vibration frequency and the consciousness to see some things beyond the rational mind and eyes, and so on. So, what are the differences? How can I categorize in a few minutes the differences between physical healing, energetic healing, shamanic healing, intuitive healing, let's say? And we talked about digestive or nutritional healing. Topic for hours. But energy healing, let's start with that, works with energy, which means basically we do not involve touch, even though everything is energy. The body is energy, my words and my voice is energy, the energy transformed through the phone to you. But when we talk about energetic healing, we talk more about the power that can be transmitted invisibly through one person to the other person in order to change and transform the state of being. And that can be through specific methods that were created, explored, and found to be useful. Like Reiki is a known one, but it's relatively 100 years old method, but is working, has specific symbolism, has specific initiation of people into the Reiki energy. And then you can use certain tools and hands above a person or around the person and transmitting through the deliverer, the person that gives, the giver, energy for healing, for betterness of the other person, the receiver. Medical Qigong is known as another energy healing method that either by myself I practice certain movements, postures, breathing, focused intention to bring healing energy or healthy energy, balancing energy, tonifying energy into my body, or by someone else offering different movements similar to Reiki, just call it medical Qigong. Another energy healing can be intuitively. You feel that somebody needs a touch or a non-touch on their lower back, on their knees, behind their head, and you just either place your hands or non-placing your hands, but nearby, and transmitting that energy. So energy healing. Nutrition, and of course there's a whole science about food. There's food according to blood type, there's food according to the 5 elements, there's food according to Ayurveda, there's food according to different diets that were explored and found that they are working. If it's a 80-10-10, if it's 16-hour fast, if it's monomeal, if it's water fasting, air fasting, being breatharian, being fruitarian. And each one of us, humans, is a unique creature that has a unique digestive system and, of course, blood type and so on. So you can experiment with different types of nutritional diet and find what is the right one for you. Okay, for example, for me nowadays, I do fruits in the morning and just water, liquids, juices, and teas during the day, and have one cooked meal in the afternoon before sunset. And for my body, it's perfect. My body feels good, energized, light. I can go to sleep. I have very good sleep. And I wake up in the morning fresh and ready for another day. And also in the cooked food, very careful of what kind of cooked food, mainly some protein and salads. And that's it. And sometimes only raw food, only salads. We move to shamanic healing, and that will be another episode talking about shamanic healing. So stay tuned, and because I want to go deeper into that and maybe even take you on a little journey from the shamanic healing world. There is, of course, the whole mental healing that we didn't talk about through psychology, alternative psychology, consultations, advice, support, guidance, and so on. Through the different medias and mediums, like even hypnosis. And then we talk about physical healing. Physical healing for me is something that involves a touch. And from the ancient or more traditional healing world, holistic healing, I would call it, is different types of massage, acupuncture, tuina, Ayurvedic massage, which involve different oils and essential oils, different manipulations method, osteopathy, chiropractic, and different types of massage that can bring healing as well and restore the balance of the human body through the physio. Okay, because if you carry a pain, for example, in your upper spine or the lower neck, and it's constantly bothering you, you're constantly moving and massaging and changing and touching, it might have been that just one vertebra is out of alignment, and it can be just half a centimeter out of alignment, and it touches a nerve that constantly feed certain sensation that is abnormal, and it's just signaling, the body is signaling, hey, something's wrong here, can you put me back in place? And one adjustment, hopefully soft and easy, one adjustment, and the vertebra back in place, the pain go like that. So hours and hours of massage, but one time right manipulation or adjustment, and then how to maintain that in spot. Because if you're sitting in a chair and constantly looking side, that vertebra may all the time have a little pressure that puts it out of its place. And then needing to know that once it's in place, maybe I need to change my posture, maybe I need to sit more upright, straight, and take a break a little bit and do massage and movement and check in with my body how it feels. So this is the physical healing. So you see how the world is changing and expanding towards giving us humans now the responsibility and the tools to find and maintain self-health and constantly thrive towards a state of healing, balance, harmony. And from there, there's so much more.